Welcome to Hanging Out with Robert, that's me. This video is composed of things that I tinkered with throughout the day. For step-by-step detailed instructions of those tasks, you can click on the links in the comment section below. This video should contain tips and tricks of things that I've learned throughout the year. Now, I only plan on leaving this video posted for about 30 days. I hope you enjoy it. Thank you very much for watching. Going to kick off the day. Headed over to Buster Brown's. One of my viewers in New York wants to buy a transmission from him. So I'm going to pick it up, take it down to the shipping place, see if they want to rip my head off for shipping it. It's got to come under 150 bucks for packing and shipping, or I don't think I'm going to participate in that. That's just too much for shipping. Does have to go far, but man, you gotta put a limit on this stuff. Besides that, I'm working on a few daily videos, trying to hash through them mentally because they entail tinkering on that Jaguar fuel pump, which was somewhat of a nightmare. I want to post those videos responsibly. I don't want to make people misinterpret those for good procedures. I think I got it figured out. I'll post them, and hopefully all that'll go over well. Other than that, I want to do a few general videos. One of them has to do with people calling me after they hack up these cylinder head jobs on these cars that have these VVT hubs. They tear that stuff apart, then they can't seem to get it back together, then they watch my videos and call me. Man, you know, don't have cam locking tools and all that stuff. Just a pain. So let's see what happens. It's chilly this morning, only 40 degrees. Had to pop on my heated seat. Man, Volvo was the first car I knew that had heated seats back in the 70s. So, of course, the 95 has nice heated seats. This, folks, Buster Brown. Back up over here, close to where this transmission's going to come out. Dropped that transmission off at the shipping place. The guy said that dang on transmission is like 150 pounds. He's talking like $100 packing and $250 shipping. That'd be like $350 to get the dang thing somewhere. That's a lot, so I don't know. We'll see. I mentioned yesterday my brother-in-law having an accident in my mom's V70. There's a picture of it there. I have no idea why people take pictures, portrait, instead of landscape. So, he said he hit a deer. Couldn't see any deer remnants, hair, or nothing like that. But anyway, that's the car. I'll show you some pictures soon of what he comes up with after getting it repaired, his style. Tony is getting ready to set this Jeep head down there. Let me see the bottom of that head one more time. You can see it's got a big valve and a little valve. Getting ready to set it on the engine. Head gasket's been treated and in place with the copper spray stuff. The engine's still bolted on the transmission. I guess that's an easier way to drop it. Brand new reconditioned head. Pressing it in place. Trying to get it to drop down on the guide pins. Draw it down with the head bolts or something.
No, I normally hit it with a hammer.
Mallet, phenolic plastic hammer. Tap it down on you.
Cinder block, you know, whatever you have. Can you just like guide that make sure it doesn't fall?
So when you're looking at the head, you got the cam running through here. This cam's got welds on it. I wouldn't expect that. I'd expect that to be machined different. Anyway, you got your lifters. You got your rocker arms on this head. It's got a cam on each head. This side you got your lifter springs. And then I guess you got some kind of lifters pressed in the head there. Offset both sides. Tony's going to tap it down on there. Make sure it's seated before he works it on there. Did it fall down in place?
Yep.
Alright. Doing a head gasket job on a, you said 2.7? I'm sorry, 3.7 Jeep 6-cylinder. Putting this video together to try to help those that has jumped into a cylinder head job or pulled a VVT hub off without watching the proper video. You know, if you're going to pull a VVT hub off of a cam, you really need to take the stuff off the back of the head and install the cam locking tool. If you don't have a cam locking tool installed, I don't even know how you got that VVT hub off, to be honest with you. That bolt is torqued in there, holding that hub against that cam. I don't know how you broke it loose without a locking tool. Anyway, here you are trying to get the stuff back together. So I'm making this video to try to help you get as close as possible without, you know, having timing issues and timing codes and rough running. I talked to the Volvo mechanics that do this stuff all the time. They said some variants of this job, you almost have to get a new hub to avoid getting error codes. Anyway, this is my advice. I hope it helps. Engine with no belt on it. You got your crank sprocket. You got your 2 marks there, little marks. This is your oil pump. That's the mark that this stuff is supposed to be lined up with. As you can see, this one is off about a half a tooth. Now, these engines are timed with marks. They're not timed by having a piston top dead center. So don't even contact me talking about top dead center. It's not how these things are timed. You're going to get yourself in trouble. Tensioner pulley, idler pulley, water pump, VVT hub, standard camshaft pulley sprocket, whatever you want to call it. This one is standard. It has slots in there. It can be off time a little bit as well. But this is the one that people have all of their problems with. If I had to guess, I'd say this engine came out of a 99 or 2000. Anyway, an earlier version of the ones with the VVT hub. The intake cam here has the numbers along the bottom of it. The slot is actually offset to the top. This is the exhaust cam. The slot is offset to the bottom. It has a notch in the bottom. The numbers are going along the top of it. As you can see, if you had to put the locking tool on, this would turn a little clockwise to straighten this out, and that timing mark can still be on. That's why it's variable timing. The sensor could actually make the timing adjust while the engine's running, and it has somewhat of an adjustment. These are interference engines, so you don't want to be too far off on the timing or you'll have problems. If you have decided to try to do this without the cam locking tool, I don't know what to tell you. You more than likely are not going to get that right. I don't know who you need to talk to, but without the cam locking tool, I have no advice for you at all. Get the cam locking tool, install it, intake cam numbers on the bottom, slots offset to the top, exhaust cam numbers across the top, the slot offset to the bottom, and this one actually has a notch in it. Let me show you one more that has been put together, and then we'll talk about the front of the VVT hub. Right in behind here, so you can see same situation with this VVT hub. The slot's almost straight across. It had that cam locking tool on. It's been removed, and it's got that little notch on the bottom side. Before you put the belt on, this plug is actually out of the hub. You got the bolt that goes
down inside there that bolts this VVT hub onto the cam. What you want to do is slide the cam VVT hub over the cam. You want to rotate this clockwise until you get your mark to come all the way around and point back at the top. Then you want to take the center bolt, snug it down. Don't torque it all the way down, just snug it down. It's snug down. When you let it go, these earlier hubs will likely spring load back a couple of teeth. That's okay. Let it spring load back. Then you install your belt, and when you go to put your belt on, you want to take your cap, turn your cap in, and turn your tool clockwise to crank the tension and turn this hub clockwise so that it's back on its mark with the cover. Then slip your belt on. After you got your belt on, your belt tensioned right with your tensioner approximately that position at 70 degrees, that position if it's 90 degrees, that position if it's 35 degrees or whatever. Then you pull the cap back out with your cam locking tool still on the back. You torque that center bolt down at its proper torque. Then you put this cap back in. Now you have all three of your marks lined up. These two are lined up with the cover. This one is lined up with the oil pump down there. This mark in between these two little notches. This thing here actually is a mark that some people use to line that up with the back oil pump. Then your timing should be set. One point you should know is the earlier ones, this hub is spring loaded. So you rotate it around clockwise, you snug the center bolt, then when you let it go, it will probably spring load counterclockwise a tooth or two. That's how it should happen. On the newer models, these hubs are not spring loaded, they just have play in them. So after you have the hub set, you can loosen these smaller bolts out here. They may be 8mm, but once that's set in there, you want to try to center these as best you can so that you have the play on both sides of those bolts. Snug those down. That is where you want your initial setting to be. Once you have your timing set, it'll look like this engine over here. Let me go back to the other engine. After you have your 3 timing marks set and your belt installed, your tensioner installed, now you will have to remove the cam locking tool from the back of the cam. After you get the cam locking tool removed, you can now roll this engine over twice at the harmonic balancer bolt, your crank bolt, 2 full revolutions. Make sure your timing marks come back up in line, and you've made sure that you don't have any valve to piston contact internally in the engine. After you've started the car, if you have some kind of error message for timing, you can actually adjust the timing with these three bolts a little bit counterclockwise or a little bit clockwise to try to correct your timing setting. Not sure how to tell you to do that, but that is some play in here that you can adjust timing to try to get your error codes away. My understanding, if you're dealing with the newer cars, S40, V40s, V50s, C50s, a lot of times these hubs are one-time use. Once you take them apart, you often have to replace them with a new hub to get rid of your error codes. I hope that helps. That's all I got.
Again, I don't know how you can do this without the cam locking tool, but if you try, good luck. Don't bother calling me. The infamous Buster Brown. Buster Brown said he's having heating issues. You know these guys here, they can't take the cold weather. Anything under 68 degrees is criminal. Start whining and stuff like a girl. Brown's got a busted handle. Plastic broke off in there, so when he thinks he has it up to 84, it's not. You gotta go all the way over here to be full hot because the handle's broken.
Over here?
Yeah, because the handle's broken. See how hot it is now?
Yeah. So you have to go over here?
You gotta go hot. The handle's broken. See right here? This is a quarter travel, 90-degree travel with nothing.
Okay.
So right there just caught. Now it'll go to cold. Okay, so that's full cold. This is no travel. You feel that? No clicking. Here, you got clicking.
Oh, I feel it that way.
So here, no clicking. It's not even moved yet.
Oh, yeah.
So you got to keep going until it starts clicking. Now that's full heat.
Okay.
Yeah. So you got to get a knob.
Oh, I didn't even...
The knob is broke.
Okay.
It's supposed to have this metal in it, and this one is cracked as well. So this one's going to break before too long. So get something that ain't broke. I don't know where they got this cheap crap from.
No, it was like this with the car. I never changed nothing.
This one's cracked too. Look, that one's broke too. Go get another one for that. So whoever had this was manhandling them.
Yeah.
They wasn't being gentle.
Somebody.
Yeah. So
it was like this with the guy.
Yeah. So somebody broke them. Is the metal piece in there? The metal piece is missing. So somebody actually took this one off when they broke it. If you feel that this information was useful, please like it and share it with your social media friends. You can subscribe to my channel so that you will get notifications of future videos that I post. You can follow me on Twitter, and if you need to contact me directly, please visit my website. And if you have any questions, leave them below, and someone or myself will reply to them. Again, thank you very much for watching.